Maleficent, the mistress of all evil, known for her fiendish personality and dark magic that is more powerful than anyone can ever imagine. Because of this, she is recognized as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Disney villain of all times. Now, what if I tell you that everything I just said was apparently not true?
Not what? Oh dear, what an awkward situation.
Yeah, that was pretty much my reaction when I saw the new film. Although, I will be honest, I never really thought much of it when it was announced. In fact, I did make fun of it a little in one of my previous videos, before the movie came out. Because, you know, we need more Disney reboots that'll fail to overshadow the original classic. But anyways, another reason why I never really thought much of it is actually because I thought this was going to be another piece of the collection in the fairy tale action flicks. Now, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's a bit of a new trend that Hollywood's trying out these days. You take a well-known fairy tale or a classic fantasy book and turn it into a major big budget epic filled with plenty of action, CGI, and the main character kicking ass. What started this whole trend can be dated back to 2010 with the release of Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. It was a movie that was pretty much mixed. On one hand, the visuals are fantastic, and some of the acting, like from Helena Bonham Carter and Stephen Fry, are really impressive. But yeah, it was a pretty dumb movie. But either way, this was a huge success at the box office, earning more than $1 billion. Soon afterwards, all of the other companies jumped in to try to cash in from Alice with their own epic spin on a classic story. This resulted in films like Red Riding Hood, Snow White and the Huntsman, Hansel and Gretel, Jack the Giant Slayer, just to name a few. However, there is a catch to these films. The best ones made in that category are the ones by Disney, both critically and financially. They may get mixed reception, sure, but it's way better than what the rest received. And since nobody took dibs on the story of Sleeping Beauty, it's no surprise that Disney decided to take a stab at it and made it based more on the 1959 animated classic, which is also why I'm reviewing this. And like I said before, apparently, not just Maleficent, but all this is nothing but a lie. Yeah, the one thing this movie didn't tell you beforehand is that Maleficent is not the villain. In fact, she's not even evil at all. The movie took several liberties to change the story of the animated film and turn her into a fairy godmother. And they don't just subtly bring it up either. Princess Aurora flat out calls her fairy godmother. They even changed some other significant scenes to make her look more sweet. Like when she curses the baby, she changed her mind on the spot for Aurora to sleep, then to die. Even at that, later on, Maleficent tries to revoke the curse after spending some time with her. There are much more bigger changes the movie did like that, but I don't like to spoil the movie, so you better stick to my word that they changed a lot of key elements in this. Now, some of you may argue that they're just doing the same thing as Wicked, the Broadway show about the Wicked Witch of the West. Like Maleficent, they try to make the witch more sympathetic and just misunderstood than just feared by all in the Land of Oz. That's a good point, but here's the issue with Maleficent. What worked in Wicked is that the story is all about the development of how the Wicked Witch and Glinda became whom we all know today without really altering the original story nor the characters during that time. In here though, they tampered with everything. Not just Maleficent, but also the story of the original movie and all the other characters as well. I can understand with what they're trying to do with the scenes before the big baby shower, but then afterwards, they just took things way too far. So if Maleficent isn't the villain, then who is? I guess that means they're gonna turn one of the characters into the bad guy, isn't it? But who? Let's see now. Nah, definitely not. Nope. Ah, here we go. Other than Maleficent, the other character that they focus a lot is Aurora's father, King Stefan, who in here is now a crazy tyrant, focusing on nothing else than to kill off Maleficent. He would even go as far as putting his mission over his own wife and daughter. I'm sorry, but I just can't really see this guy as the villain. For the sake of the movie, it would have been more interesting if the biggest conflict is the curse that Maleficent laid upon Aurora. Like before, I understand a bit with his development before he became king, but then afterwards, he's just an insane man who I'm starting to question if he even remembers why he wants to kill off Maleficent in the first place. Also, if you have seen Sleeping Beauty, you might remember that Stefan's most tyrannical moment in the film is this.
Now see here.
I'm not so sure my grandchildren want you for a grandfather.
Why, you unreasonable, pompous, blustering old windbag.
Unreasonable, pompous, unguard, sir.
I warn you, Hubert, this means war.
Forward, for honor, for country.
Yeah, you can never convince me that this guy is a villain. As for the rest of the characters, a lot of them are practically watered down from their animated counterparts. Aurora is still the same, except she likes Maleficent instead of the prince. Philip is practically useless. Maleficent's Raven turns into a human most of the time, oddly enough. And then there are the three good fairies. Oh god, what the fridge did they do to them? They're no longer Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Now they're Larry, Curly, and Moe, reduced to do nothing but dumb slapstick at each other and fail miserably at taking care of Aurora. They need her freaking babysitter to do the job for them. Now I know that I am pretty evil to this film. I mean, Maleficent ain't gonna do the job. But considering that it's said to have a huge $180 million budget, there are some things where the money is put to good use. Like any big budget film, this movie heavily relies on special effects and CGI, and I'll admit, it often looks gorgeous. Many of the creatures that live in the moors are highly creative in terms of design, and the way they come to life is just so believable. Funny enough, the entire land of the moors actually reminds me of Blue Sky's Epic in the way of how they both depict their enchanted forest. And even if the characters are way off to what they're supposed to be, the settings look fantastic, and they seem like live-action recreations of how they're depicted in the Disney classic. But then comes Angelina Jolie as Maleficent. There's no denying that she did an amazing performance, capturing both the calm and fiendish nature of the original while giving her more of a personality and charm to the character. Trust me, Jolie is perfect for Maleficent. Even some of the other actors are pretty solid. The only issue is just the material that they're given. Technically, the movie is not really bad per se. I mean, the good things about it keep it away from making this film unpleasant. But I think at the end of the day, I'm just not happy with this film because I feel like I've been lied to. When you first hear about the idea of a Maleficent movie, you'd probably expect that it'll be about why and how she became the most notorious Disney villain of all times. But when you actually see it, it seems like it was going to do that at first, but then it took a completely different direction and gave us a messed up retelling of the 1959 movie where Maleficent is the hero. It would have been a pretty solid film if it were its own thing that's just loosely based on the classic fairy tale, but the fact that the movie tries so hard to connect itself with the Disney animated classic almost ruins it and feels like it just wants to fix something that was never broken. But overall, it's a lot similar to all the other fairy tale action movies, but probably better. While it does look great and some of the acting, especially from Angelina, is magnificent, the writing is just a mess, and some characters just feel pointless. My recommendation for this film would highly depend on your thoughts on Sleeping Beauty. If you haven't seen it, don't care for it, or you think it needs room for improvement, then you might like this. But if you do like the original along with its characters, then Maleficent might not be for you. As for me, both as a Disney fan and a critic, I'm gonna go straight down the middle and give it a 5 out of 10. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just meh. Now this is going to be one of those films that everybody is going to be split on. It's either you like it, you don't, or like me, you're just indifferent about it. But to end this off on a happier note, I think there is one thing that we can all benefit from this. Rather it be the 1959 animated classic or the 2014 spin-off reboot-ish? I don't know. We can each have our own Sleeping Beauty story that we can personally enjoy. See you later, dudes! Oh yeah. Did I forget to mention that Lana Del Rey sure knows how to turn a beloved Disney song into the stuff I normally hear in my nightmares? Let me go fix that.
Yet I know it's true that visions are seldom all they seem. But if I know you, I know what you'll do. You love me at once, the way you did once upon a dream. La, la, la.
And since nobody took dibs on the story of Sleeping Beauty, it's no surprise that Disney decided to take a stab at it and decided to be based more on, here we go. Oh, fudge nabbit. The Black Cauldron wants to try to escape. No, Black Cauldron, you're still the black sheep of Disney. You get back in there. Alright, gotta redo that. Yes, I own a DVD of The Black Cauldron. I just thought it was going to be good, but it's still worth it for the Horned King. But anyways. Alright, let's get back to business.